Let's have a look now at moderators in more complex factorial designs in experiments, which is a very important topic that I want to cover in this video. And when I talk about the factorial design, this is about the number of levels or manipulations that you have in your experiment. And I do have a separate video on factorial designs, how to write them up and how to explain them. So if the factorial design is something which doesn't ring a bell to you, please pause this video and watch the one dedicated specifically to it on this channel. But for those of you who watched it and would like to continue with me on this journey, here is an example where, in addition to Kinder schema manipulation or the absence of thereof, I have exposed people in their Kinder schema manipulation to peer commentary. The peer commentary could be positive or could be negative. For example, a peer would say, "Oh, what a lovely product." That is a positive peer commentary, and we suspect that it would actually encourage positive emotions, whereas the negative peer commentary would actually discourage it. The peer would say, "Oh no, that's a silly thing. Why would you purchase this product?" What I would like to highlight here is that your moderator, which is the preference of cuteness, and let's say it is continuous here for the purpose of this example, it does not form part of your factorial design. You are not manipulating your moderator. You are using it to provide a better explanation of a phenomenon that you study. But it forms part of your hypothesis, just like shown on the screen, but it's not part of your factorial design. So when you write up the design of your experiment, you should actually mention only your interventions, only the variables you are manipulating, and should not include your moderators in there. Moderators should only form part of your hypothesis. And a word of caution here in relation to more complex factorial designs and the moderators. The more complex you make your design, the more complex your data analysis will become, because you will have to develop a hypothesis to account for this. It's actually now a three-way interaction because you have factor 1, factor 2, and you have another variable, which is factor 3. And you will have to account for it statistically and to test those effects. That is why do not overcomplicate your experiments if you feel you lack the skills, the statistical quantitative skills to analyze your data, or you feel stuck. Because we can throw a lot of aspects in, it could have another factor for manipulation, but it may become too complicated. The beauty of experiments is when you can tell your story in a very simple way and establish the main effect of the phenomenon that you actually study, even when there is a moderation. So always think about the design of your experiment, past literature, theory, and only then develop your experiments based on what you've learned. Now, this was a very technical video, but I hope that now you understand what a moderator is. I hope you enjoyed this video and you're ready for the next one.